Hey everyone! Happy Monday evening. Oh, hold on. Let me see the chat. Oh, so tonight I have some wine. Cheers. And it's because I've in the last few days gotten really addicted to this one Chinese drama, and they like drink wine like every other episode, and I'm like that. Oh, hi Mango Guy. And I'm like that easily influenced. So yeah, I'm like an advertiser stream. I feel like as I get older, whatever I see like on TV, I'm just like, oh, I want that. Like watching something and there's like cake, and I'm like, oh, I need cake in my life. Yeah, but how are you guys today? I know I just did this yesterday, so like, but yeah. Okay. So what else did I have to say? I did disable the Nightbot for links, so now you can post links, and it won't give a warning. So as long as you post beautiful things, beautiful appropriate things. And let's see, this is day number 2 of trying the wired connection, so hopefully that works out again. It, I think, went pretty well yesterday, for which I'm really glad. But now that it's evening time, I have this like unproven theory that like, well, it's probably a pretty obvious one, but like that evening time all of our internet speeds drop because of the amount of people that are using internet. I don't know, I don't have any like but yeah, so hopefully the wired connection will withstand all of that also. So let's see today. Okay, so yesterday we just finished doing this interaction of toggling different weeks and then seeing them bounce, and then Robert afterwards suggested like flock behavior, organic flock behavior. So, well, not this one, but I was looking it up, and it's essentially like instead of having everything move, like all of these little like expenses move at the same time, instead of that happening, like each of them have their own individual behavior, so it kind of looks like birds. And I thought that was a really awesome idea. I just haven't yet. I just took a look at this right before this live stream, so maybe I will try it later on. I've never tried something like this, so hopefully it's pretty straightforward to implement, but not today. I will try it probably towards the end of this implementation. So, and then I got these really simple categories in. It's still looking really ugly, but I think I'm going to wait until the very end to do all of the like making it look better things. Yeah, I usually like to do them as I go, but then like usually it's just like a bunch of me like nudging pixels and like tweaking colors, and I don't think that's like that interesting for a live stream. And then I wanted to get all the interesting things out of the way during the live stream. So, and then we just have started on this drag behavior. So today the goal is to and so this is what I'm trying to refactor. So the goal today is to do this drag behavior where if I overlap, then the links connect. So that's what I want to do today also. As well as I was also thinking it'd be fun if I drag it into a different date, then it will go into that date. So I think those are my 2 goals for today. And then I think after that I need to implement like being able to add expenses and add categories, but I'm not quite sure if I'll get to it today. And then next week, I'm a little bit on the fence still of if I'm going to have a live stream or not on next Monday, because we'll be in Vancouver for a week for vacation, and then I'll probably bring my laptop along just because I have to finish getting ready for the talks I have coming up at the conferences. I mean, hopefully I finish it by this week, but I'll probably have to finish up some of the details and tweaking. So I'll probably bring my laptop along. So depending on how tired I am, I might do a live stream next week too. But yeah, I'm still on the fence. Cool. Okay. So the very first thing is being able to drag this, and then as soon as we detect that we have dragged it over one of these categories, then connect them together. So essentially push this expense into the category to let so we have these data objects where for each of the categories we have an array of expenses. So every time I drag this over it, we push the expense into this array, and then update this total. So yeah, how are you guys? Do we have anybody other than Mago Guy? Do we have anybody from yesterday? And then I actually haven't been working on this outside of the live stream. So if you've actually been here since of it, this because I thought it might be fun to keep it. Oh, hi! I got a follower. Curvajal 9208. Thank you so much for following. But yeah, so I haven't been working on this outside of the live stream, so if you've been following from the very beginning, it's exactly, I guess, you've seen everything. Yeah, okay, so I think the very first thing I should do actually, do I have any uncommitted changes? Where am I? There we go. No, cool. Okay, so actually the first thing I should do is put the categories underneath the expenses so that when I drag the expenses over the categories, it will actually be on top. And then you guys are gonna have to sit through quite a bit of me thinking the drag through, because the drag usually takes a bit of thinking for me. So I have the expenses component right here and the categories component right here, and then I on every single time each of these components are updated, I recalculate the data, but I basically mutate the original category data object. So I should actually, with the radius and the X and the Y, so I should actually be able to access the X, Y, and radius for the categories from the expenses component. And that's important because as I'm dragging the expense around and I'm figuring out the X and Y, I want to be able to see if that is colliding with these. And actually, okay, so I also wonder if I could use the quadtrees. So I actually don't think I've implemented a drag interaction similar to this in a while, maybe not since V3. So then I haven't taken, oh, hi, I have another follower again. Mehoker? Sorry. Thank you so much for following. So yeah, but actually the D3 force layout now gives me this thing called, I think, .find. Yeah, simulation.find. And if I give it an X, Y, and, oh, nice, if I give it a radius, returns the node closest to the position X, Y within the given search radius, and if radius not specified, it defaults to infinity. So this is one, but this is actually, I think, if I was to, let's say, give it an XY, anywhere on the screen, it will just give me the nearest one, but actually I want it to be specifically when it's overlapping. So I think I think a quad tree might be overkill, since I only want to search through all of the categories to see if it's overlapping, and I don't imagine us having more than 10 categories or something. And I think quad trees are much better, or we should really only use it when we have, so quad trees are like this data structure that basically it subdivides the, I think you can actually probably see it, it subdivides the screen into fourth, and then into further and further fourths until each single point is within a little square, or within each quadrant. And the whole point of it is for faster search, or faster retrieval, so that we can do something like this where we're brushing over it. Oh, I should have totally used quadtree. I should have totally used quadtree in my other project. I don't know why I didn't think about it. But yeah, so this is really overkill for when I only have a few categories. So, ooh, hi Blue Droplet. Shirley. Yes, hi Shirley. So Blue Droplet is hey, thanks so much for dropping by. So Shirley is actually also named Shirley, and she is a college friend. So hello, thank you so much for dropping by. And Jerry Moore, thank you so much for saying hi also. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, which means in here, every time I'm dragging expense, I think all I need to do is loop through, I think this would be the easiest way, loop through all of the categories I have and X and Y, and see if the X and Y of my expenses is within that radius. So just to make sure, I'm going to console.log the categories data to make sure that I have access to the radius and XY of the categories. Oh, of undefined. Cannot read categories of undefined. Oh, okay, so this is what I, yesterday I was like, oh, I don't need to bind this context on any of the drag functions, because I don't ever need to use this in the drag functions. Now I do. So I need to do this, bind this to give this component as the context dot drag expense. Yeah, this dot. Actually, I might only need it in drag expense. I don't know. This dot drag end. Oops. Now that should work. If I drag this, cool. Perfect. And then, yep, has the radius, has the XY, and so let's see. As I'm dragging, go through the categories and let's see. Oh, yeah, so var x1 is equal to x minus, actually, I'm not gonna bother with that. Okay, so the x and y of the category is its center, so I want to say if it needs to be within that whole box. So if So if, okay, let's start with x1. So x1 is x minus radius divided by 2. Oh! Shirley says, heading out now, been playing around with the sunburst thing in D3. Ah, cool! But yeah, okay, bye, Shirley. And then Jerry Moore says, glad to see coding on Twitch. Yay! I was actually really happy to see that also, that there was like a whole like programming section on Twitch. That was really cool. I was definitely very much inspired by Noobcat Suze Hinton and her blog post about her experiences live coding on Twitch. And so yeah, it's been really quite interesting experience thus far. Okay, so this is my x1. So it should be, so my x1, so my expenses, so var, let's just do this, expense x is equal to d3.event.x, var expense y is equal to d3.event.y, and then expense x and x plus radius divided by 2. Oh, actually, let me do it this way. Expense x is also smaller than my x2 and is bigger than my y1, and expense y is smaller than my y2. Console.log. Let me just do the category name or something to see if it's working or something. Nope, D3 does not equal Diablo 3. Nope, not at all. Oh, low tier Asian says, I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google D3. Yeah, it's funny because I have the opposite problem of like when I hear D3 and like people are actually talking about like Diablo or anything else, and I'm like, huh? And I actually get really confused because in my mind D3 is the data-driven documents, which is what we use to draw visualizations in the web. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, nice. Wait, hold on. Let me stop console logging here. Let me also do it here so that we can actually see. So nothing should be happening now. Restaurants, cool, cool. Grocery, oh, brilliant. Okay. It's always, you know what? This happened a lot easier than I was expecting. This feels weird. Because now I just have to connect. So now what I want to do is basically be like this dot props dot so in app.js, so in the root, I want to have a basically an event handler function that's like, I don't know, link expense to category. Pardon me for shitty naming. And let's see, and then I want to pass that. That's a really bad name and really long. Link to category. How about that? Link to category. Oops. This dot link to category. I also have to update the context for this. Dot bind this. And now we can use that in here. And let's say, let me, oh my god, I just realized. Oh wait, no, I do have the, okay. So, var expense, the dragged expense is actually d3.event.subject. That's the object. That's the data object of the expense that's being dragged. So let's pass in the expense, and let's pass in the category. And then here, say expense in category, console.log expense in category. Now let's see. Cool. Wait, I just realized I actually don't want to be doing, well, hold on. This is my expense and this is my restaurants. I should actually give this, I also need an interaction for like just like hovering or clicking on this and seeing the details. Like, I just realized like who would like drag on this when we don't yet have an idea of what it is. Let's see. Because I definitely shouldn't be using my parking expense and putting it into restaurants. Also, so earlier I said I had this like urge to drink wine, except we haven't stocked like wine in our kitchen in a while. So then like, and we don't have a proper like wine fridge. So I actually don't remember where we bought this or how long ago we bought this. And like, I think it tastes a little bit sour. My boyfriend says that it tastes fine. Okay. So actually I just realized I think what I want to do is I actually only want to link them on drag end, and doing drag, I actually feel like I only want to like maybe like highlight it or something to give the user a way of knowing that it's being hovered over. So there's a proper way of doing this with React, I feel like, and there's like a cheap way to do it. And so I feel like the easier way to do it is like just use D3 and select that category, and then set some sort of a attribute like color it differently or something. I feel like the proper React way to do it, which is like more work, but like I should probably let app.js know and let app.js like update categories. I'll do that in a bit. So instead, let me just say this dot dragged expense is equal to, wait, actually, yeah, let me do this dot dragged is expense and category so that we can remember it, and I might potentially pass it up to app.js and then have that update categories, but for now that's all I'm gonna do, because then on drag end actually, okay, so on drag end I should clean out, no, so here, somewhere here I should clean out dragged, so every time, yeah, and then on drag end I should clean up that variable also, and so that's because I want to make sure that every single time it's being dragged, that the expense and category are only remembered yeah, when it's being actually dragged over a category. And so like on every drag event, we should like reset that variable, and then on drag end we should also reset that variable, but only after I do this dot props that link. Oh, there we go. Link to category, and then just pass up our expense and category. This dot dragged. So pass up expense and category on drag end. So, oops. What? Cannot read property expense of null. What does that mean? Drag end. Cannot read expense of null. Oh. Of course. Only if on drag end, it's still on top of something, should we like do the linking. So now that should work. Let's see. Yay! Okay. Oh, small victories. Okay, so that means that's working. So now, on the data side, I want to basically push this expense into this expenses array. I'm like trying to decide if I want to like push that object in or just push in an ID. Just push in that object. And then we also have to recalculate the total after we do that. Okay. Let's see. So category dot expenses dot push expense, and then category dot total is equal to I think in Lodash there's a sum by. Lodash that I like using. Sum by. Sum or sum by? Sum by. Yeah, where I give it an array and then tell it what to sum by. Yeah, okay, so categories.expenses and sum by the expense, the total amount of the expense. Which I think that's it. Wait, no, the amount. I want to pass in the amount. That's right, not total. So I want to use the amount attribute to sum the category's total amount. Yes. That's a lot of motorcycles. Category. Oh, category.expenses. Okay, now let's see. The total is now, wait, that's not what I want. What? Expenses is the object, which is right. Why is that? Okay, let's try looking at why it's giving me an object here instead of the total integer amount. Huh. Okay. see. Category.expenses. Now we have these two. But shouldn't sum by? Oh, because I said sum instead of sum by. I was even looking at sum by, but I wrote down sum still. Thank you, GCalMets. Yeah, I needed a sum by instead of sum. Oh, you are good. That is such good catching. Hi, Matt Touré. Thank you so much for catching the live stream. Is this like a time that works for you, or I'm still trying to like play with the different times. So like Sunday afternoon yesterday was really fun, and then this is, yeah, although I think my brain definitely works better in the evenings than in the mornings. But I think maybe more people can make the mornings. I don't know. Yeah, so now it should work. Let's see. Total. Yes! Yay! Okay. Now, so let me just make sure. Okay, so I think categories is all hooked up correctly. So then if I just set state, oh, actually I need to make sure to like, in component did update, I need to, of categories, I need to like, of course, call calculate data and render circles. But other than that, I think if I just do this dot set state here, I think the categories, wait, hold on. I need to replace that category in that array. Is there a good Lodash way of doing it? Oh, I can just union? Right? I should just be able to union. Intersection. Yeah, I want union. Okay. So, var categories. So the new category is equal to union, and I think I want to put the new, what's union with? Comparator. Huh. Didn't know that. Union by, so I probably want to union by the name. So it should take the first array in which the value occurs. Yes. Okay. So I want to union category, the newly updated category. Oh, and I need to put that in Matt Touré. I have 1 or 2 streams going all day, every day. Love me some Twitch. Oh, that's awesome. Good catch, GCalMets. Yes, thank you so much. Low tier Asian is following. Thank you so much for following. And then I feel like this isn't the most efficient way to do this, of like replacing my old Wait, I just realized these are all I'm actually directly, actually I think I just need to force update, because this category, I'm like directly mutating the category in here, which I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to do, but that is what's currently happening. So the this.state.categories should already be updated. Let's check. So if I'm not being truly immutable here. Let's see. So this is my categories. Groceries, restaurants. Yep, it's been mutated. Total is 13. So I'll just go and be lazy and say force update instead of set state. And now I think this should get bigger. Whoa! I was not expecting that. What did I write? Why? What? Why is my restaurant circle suddenly so big? Expect. Why is my radius 470? Oh, wait. Hold on. Radius extent. Oh. I'm dumb. I never set the domain of the radius scale and categories, which is why it like became that big. Okay, let's see. Radius scale, like I even calculated the min max for the radius and just never used it. Dot domain radius extent. Woohoo! That is exactly what I wanted. I need to. Is that not? Huh. Let's see. Okay. Yay! Thank you! Okay, so that. Wait. Why is nothing happening? Oh, that's severely unfortunate. Okay, so if I put you there one more time, there we go. Okay, this whole like scale thing is really bad for like when there's only two things, because they're both always going to be the extremes. Like one is always going to be the min and the other is always going to be the max. So that's unfortunate. I don't know what to do about that as of right now. But let me commit. Okay, so drag expense to link to category. And then update category, update categories. Yeah, okay, now I need to draw a link between these. And I think I'll just draw it. I think I'll draw it in the categories component. I feel like I should create another link.js, but that seems very troublesome. So I'll just put it into categories. So now, for every one of the expenses, there should be a link. And I just realized also, actually, if I drag an expense over a category and I drag that same expense over again, that should actually cancel out the linking. So I need to, oh, Purgatory, hi there. So I should also implement that in a little bit. But let me just put in some links. Let's see, so I should have a link for, so maybe I should just create, and links array. Yeah, I think so. And then so that way, every single time I have this, the link to category, I can also so create link between expense and category. Actually, this should be pretty straightforward. So this will be bar links is equal to so this dot state dot links is equal to this dot state dot links dot push source is the expense, target is the category, just gonna set state with the links. Now I should be able to this dot render dot link or this dot render links. Okay. Render links. And then this dot lines is equal to this dot container dot select all. Let me start with just lines. I kind of want to draw curves between them because I think those would be fun. Let's see. Dot data, this dot props dot links. Exit them. Exit dot remove. Enter plus update. This dot lines dot is equal to this dot lines dot enter dot append line. Oops, not lines, just line. And then merge that with the update selection. I guess for now I'm gonna stroke you some deep color just for now. Stroke. And then here in force tick, I just need to give you X and Y positions. So adder x1 is d.source.x adder x2 d.target.x adder y1 d.source.y adder y2 d.target.y. Okay, it should work. Yay! Okay. Huh. I thought I colored you. Why can you still see the why is the line above this circle? I thought I called render links. Shouldn't render links be, because I called render links before render circles, so shouldn't it be created underneath the circle? Oh, of course. Cause I just connected them. So then that link is being drawn after the categories are created. So I actually need to do insert, I believe, and then insert it above all of the groups, which are the node or the categories. Cool. Oh man. Oh. Why didn't this work just now? There we go. Yay! Thank you so much. Yeah. Yay! D3. These are kind of fun. Oh, I need to do something about that. Cause I don't want these links. Oh, that's right. I only want date and I only want links between the categories and the expenses of the current week that's showing. Okay. Oh, so many things must still do. So that means actually that means that I should probably just calculate the links in here given the selected week and pass it in as a prop. Yes. Yeah, I think so. So let me commit this for now. So draw link between expense and category. Oh. And then instead of having it here, force link or force update. And then instead of putting it into state, I will just pass that in as prop. So var links is equal to let's see. So because this render function should only be called when I've either toggled going previous week or next week or linked a category. So go through each of the categories, this.state.categories, and then go through each of its expenses. And only when the expense, if expense dot get time, expense dot week, only if the week matches the selected week, so there we go. Only when the expenses week dot get time matches with selected week. Only when categories expense is in the selected week do we give it a visual link. So then we do links.push expense and category, source is expense and target is category. That should work. Yeah, so now if I do this, Oh, oh no. Oh no, no. What just happened? D3.timeWeek. Wait, selected week.get function is not a function. What? Is that really? How is that? Oh, because that's the format. Duh. That's the time format. Selected week. Oh, hi, Guy Roses. What's up? What are you working on? I am working on an expenses app with D3 and React. And then if you want to take a look at what I'm refactoring and the like really simple mock that I have that I want to get towards, then you can do bang, bang, what are you doing? Wait, what are you working on? What are you doing? One of those commands. Hey Andrew, what a beautiful visualization of an exception report. You mean expenses report? Yeah, it's quite ugly still. Just need to, I'm gonna make it look better when I've finished all the interaction and functionality. I'm like starting to wonder to myself, like, why did I decide to do this? Because there's like definitely other projects that I should be working on. But I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do a refactor of this old app that I made so that I can show it at the conferences that I'm giving talks at. And I'm like, why did I decide to do this? Because it's not like I don't have more data sketches that I need to finish. Like, it's not like there's no other side projects I need to finish. Like, this is taking me longer than I initially wanted it to. But it's okay. It's kind of fun revisiting this project, so. Hey, please be my friend. Yeah, sorry, I think it's not what are you working on. I think it's what are you doing. Sorry, bang, what are you doing? Andrew says, "Now I was joking about the exception earlier." Oh. Okay. Happened to be the first thing I saw. Yes, that is also a beautiful report, an exceptions report, but I can take absolutely no credit for it. I'm pretty sure. I wonder, I think that should be ESLint or JSLint. ESLint. That Create React app uses. Oh, yes. Thank you for, yeah. What are you doing? Yes. Bang, what are you doing? Thank you for trying it out for me. So now that should hopefully work. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, so fun. Sometimes, why doesn't it? Okay. Okay. Perfect. And then, but then now if I come back, oh, do you guys see that? Oh, live demo doesn't work. Which live demo? Live demo? I have a live demo? Oh, yes. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Here is the expenses app that I'm refactoring. No, there's supposed to be one. Oh no, I think that link was supposed to be a link to my old one. And then I guess for some reason the link isn't working on that message, so I'll have to fix that. Thank you for finding that. And then I haven't pushed up the changes from today, but the changes thus far is actually in here in the V2 expenses. Here we go. And then Have I caught up on all of the comments? Yeah, but I'm like internally quite proud of this right now. Look, the links come back, and then I can like link here. I wonder why I'm having trouble with the actual linking part. Huh. Let me see. Is this okay? Okay, so that's weird. But now, oh, yay! Oh, okay, I'm like very happy right now. So this one is only show links between category and selected week expenses. Commit to master. Sync. Guy Roses said the UI confuses me. Can you show me how to use it? The old one or the current one? For the current one, I'm still working on it. And for the old one, I think there's a directions one, and even if it's confusing, that's okay. It was actually more as an example app for. So that one was not actually. I don't know. I never really meant for it to be like used as an actual expenses app. It was more like a example to go along with this this article I wrote a few years ago. And Andrew asks, oh yeah, this is the GitHub client. Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing before taking a bit of a break, and that would be, if I go over this again, I'm going to unlink the category and expense. So let's see, and that should actually, so if includes category expense, so if this expense is already part of the category, then category.expenses is equal to without, I think it's low dash without. Yes, an array excluding all the given values, and then I should be able to do category.expenses, and without that expense, else I want to be able to push category.expenses in, and then this one is still accurate of figuring out what the total is. Let's see. Cool. Let's see, console.log category. And then again. Yay! Yeah. And that's how it works. And then I should actually also, yes, be able to yeah. And that's that interaction. And here's how to unlink. Oh, yeah, commit. That was pretty like, I I think I love, like, I think this is why I really love coding, and I really love, like, I guess it's probably attributed to React in that, like, all of these interactions, like, it takes a lot of work to set up all the D3 code and, like, like, to render everything, and then, like, a little bit of the React code. But once I set everything up, like, this is all it took to, like, remove the link between the category and expense. And then, like, all of the rendering update comes, like, for free, because I basically told it, like, given the data, like, render this way. So I guess this is both like D3 and React, but, like, I basically have told it, like, given the new data state, recalculate the data, and then this is how I want you to render everything. And then and so for every little UI change, most of the time all I have to do is, like, edit the data, and then it will just update accordingly. So this is why I really love coding. Guy Roses says, actually pretty cool. How is all of this getting stored? And right now, so all I'm trying to do is build out the front end. So it's actually just really, it's not getting stored at all. So I basically just load in a file with all of my data, and then I start with a few categories, and then as of right now, it's not getting stored anywhere. In my old app, I just got it stored on with local storage, and then, but if I was to ever do this properly, like later on, I would probably build out a backend for it, but because this is just an example app, I probably only use local storage to finish this up for this time around. Andrew says, pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Thank you. Okay, I am going to go for a bit of a break, a 5-minute break, and then I think when I come back, I'm trying to decide between if I want to, I think I'm going to, I'll take the break to figure out what I want to do next. Yeah. Alright, I'll be back in 5 minutes, so around 9:11. Oh, do I have, Andrew asks if I have a plan for the next thing once this app is finished. Let me tell you, I have so many things I need to finish. So for this project, I'm pretty much done with April visualization, but we still have May and we still have June. So we're actually working on something pretty big and exciting for May. And then June, the topic is fun, and then I still need to finish February. So those 3 projects on top of my client projects is what I'm currently trying to finish, or that I will have to work on next. But I think outside of that, I just want to finish the rest of these projects, the data sketches projects, sometime soon, and then finish up a few more client projects. It's like slated until November, and then call it a year. I realize it's only August, but it's been a great and interesting and long year of freelancing. Definitely too many plans. Okay. I will be back in 5 minutes. I'm back. So before I left, Purgatory had a question, which is that he's trying to get back into dev, he's trying to get started in dev from sysadmin, and any tips on first language? I know that gets asked a lot, and most people say it depends what I want to do, but I haven't figured that out yet and just kind of want to start. Yeah, so I think it's, I think most people are right. It kind of depends on what you want to do. But from the very fact that you're watching this, if this live stream, if any of the things that I'm doing here looks appealing, I would actually recommend JavaScript. That could be a bias, and in that I've been doing front-end dev since I got out of college, and so I'm actually just not that familiar. Like, I'm just really not as good with other languages anymore, and I'm not as familiar with like the pros and cons of other languages anymore. But if you, I think the thing that really drew me to JavaScript and the web was being able to see something visual on the screen with very little effort. And because I'm a very visual person, and that from the very first, definitely when I was in school, like writing a program and having it compile and having it run and execute, and especially if it was bug free, that was really awesome. Just like building something was a really awesome feeling. But when I first took like a web dev little class, from that very first moment, I really enjoyed it, just because not only was it just like terminal and like just a bunch of like scripts compiling and like executing and like seeing like words scroll by, I could see something on, like, I could see actual visual things on the screen, and I think that was really exciting for me. And especially now that JavaScript has come so far, like not just like with what I do with like D3 and React and building visualizations, just like with how far, oh, hi, Guy Ross. Oh, it wasn't Roses. I'm sorry. I kept on reading that as Guy Roses. I'm sorry. Guy Ross, thank you so much for following. So yeah, it's not just this, like, all the visualization kind of stuff I do. I think JavaScript is getting more and more powerful in the sense that like Node, there's Node, which I guess came out in like 2011 or so, which lets me do all of these server-side things. So that's another reason why my proficiency with other languages have like basically declined to very shameful levels, because anything I want to do, I can do in JavaScript. I can find like a node package if I need to compute something, or like deal with some APIs, or if I want to like build a simple backend, I can do that. Oh, thank you so much for following, Purgatory. So it could be a bias, but if if the whole point is that you don't yet know what you want to do, but you do want to get into dev, give JavaScript and this whole ecosystem a try. And if you find that it's not for you, then there's other things you can go try too. But I think it's really fun. So let's see. Yeah, this is really great comments from everybody else, and honestly, like, so much better of comments. So Guy Ross says C++ is first lang. Please be my friend, said JavaScript. Andrew said JavaScript is startling and employable, it seems. It's hard to recommend anything else from that standpoint. Oh, Guy Ross says, thanks for having me. Catch you later. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. Andrew says, if you're more interested in robotics, C is a timeless classic. Very true. Please be my friend. R, if you're into data. Very true. Thank you so much. Please be my friend. And Purgatory says, yeah, and now you can make desktop apps with Electron. Yes. Honestly, language is not really the thing. Switching between languages is not a big deal. I can pick up a new one in between 1 and 4 weeks at this point. Yeah, also very true. I'm actually not confident if I can pick one up in, well, probably actually, if I just put my mind to it. Actually, yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, I remember trying to learn Rails like a few years back, and it was definitely like it only took me, yeah, I guess it only took me a few days to get the basic grasp, and then I'm sure after, like, if I really, really wanted to get into it, I'm sure after like a few weeks or like a few months of working with it diligently, I probably have felt pretty comfortable with it. But Andrew makes a really great point, which is that like when you once you can program, like language is really not that important of thing. Like a lot of languages are very similar, and it's in terms of how, like, I guess how, yeah, how it works. It's really about what you want to do with the language, and I think that's the difference. Purgatory says, thanks everyone. Kind of torn right now between Python and JavaScript from my research. Please Be My Friend says, Free Codecamp is a great and free resource if you want to learn JavaScript for free. Low tier Asian, do I have to get a degree to land a programming job? I feel like I should not be answering that question. I feel like that question goes along a very similar vein to, like, can I be successful? Like, can I... I feel like that's a very similar vein of questioning as, like, if I drop out of college, will I be like Bill Gates? In my mind. But, I think, actually, okay, hold on. I think I have a way to answer that, which is, there are definitely a lot of devs I meet that have a computer science degree, and I think that's really, really great because it means that they have very solid fundamentals and foundations to which they build off of. I only have a CS minor, so I'm actually lacking a lot of the more higher, operative classes, all of those kind of foundations. So sometimes I feel the lack in my knowledge, but there are also a lot of people that make the mid-career transitions with like boot camps, and so I know that they get hired. Well, so I think the best way to think about it is definitely even coming out of a 3 months boot camp, there are people being hired to jobs, but getting hired into a job is only the first step. What you do after you get into the job, and like how much you study and how much you fill in the holes of, because a 3 months boot camp or even like the 1.5 year CS minor that I got, it's definitely always going to have some hole in the fundamental and foundational knowledge. And so it's really all about, I think, how you decide to fill that knowledge gap once you get into your job. So everybody, okay. Andrew says, no, but it helps, and you have to do different things to show that you're good, build things, have a rich portfolio, and you can get hired. You may get different offers, and you may have to work harder to get exactly where you want to be, but it's definitely doable. Purgatory says you have to make up for the lack of degree. I'm not a dev, but I work with a lot of devs. Most either had a degree or put in a lot of project work so they could show off. So I do believe portfolio work on open source projects help a lot of people. And Please Be My Friend says, I have a degree in religious studies and I just got a programming job. Oh, congrats so much. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, about all the things about working hard. Yeah, so definitely when I got out of college, I had never had a software internship experience, and my very first job was in software, but this was actually before all the boot camps and stuff caught on. And so I really, really, really felt imposter syndrome in my first job, just because like I felt like everybody around me were, like CS majors, or like they had so much experience and there were so many things I didn't understand. So from even when I was in school, when I was doing the CS minor, I knew that I was lacking in a lot of things, so I would do all of these like kind of side projects to teach myself things that I knew I wouldn't learn in class. And afterwards, when I was was at my full-time job, I would actually give myself projects, like things like this, like really simple things like this, to teach myself to program, because I knew that what I was learning at work wasn't enough, and that like that's what everybody else is doing, but like I'm already lacking the base knowledge that a lot of other people have. So then like I had to work really hard to catch up to them, and that's why I did a lot of side projects within my like first 2 years or so. And then after that, I kept on doing side projects simply because I had a lot of fun doing them. And then in the last year or so, I've been doing side projects. So in the last year or so, I've been freelancing, and I've been doing side projects mostly as a way to explore with different technologies, and with like different libraries and different ways of thinking and coding, and so that I get to try out maybe techniques that I wouldn't otherwise be paid to do, because like with paid work, obviously like it isn't as much about exploration. They're coming to me for a certain amount of expertise, so then like maybe they wouldn't want to have me spend so much time on trying out something. So then now like side projects for me are just kind of like exploratory like sandboxes, where I get to like see if a particular visualization will work for this type of data, or like, so I get to experiment. Yeah. Andrew says, my imposter syndrome pro tip: literally everyone has it. The only devs I've ever met without imposter syndrome should have had it because they were very good. Fair point. I actually really enjoyed a podcast from Front End Happy Hour. They had a episode a few episodes back, maybe like 5 episodes back or something, that was about imposter syndrome, and I was like listening to it and like while driving the car, and I was like, yes, that too, yes. So definitely worth checking out. I don't know if imposter syndrome, like that whole episode was about how like I don't know if imposter syndrome ever goes away, but it's a really good thing to have because it keeps you learning, and it keeps you working hard towards a goal. Yeah. I hope you find something you really enjoy. So okay, that was an unexpected detour/tangent. But thank you so much for asking the questions, and also for all of the really great comments. I read out the comments so that if people are watching this later on, then they can hear the comments, because these comments don't get recorded. GCalMets says, just noticed that in the drag expense function of the expense.js, you should remove the you should remove the /2 in a conditional statement. That's why you have problem linking expenses when you drag expenses over the area near the category's edge. Oh, thank you, GCalMets. So I'm guessing you mean here. Oh my god, you're absolutely right. Of course, because radius is... I am dumb. I am very dumb. Thank you so much for pointing that out, GCalMets. Of course, why am I dividing the radius by 2? And that makes the code cleaner too. Thank you so much. Andrew says, low tier Asian, I'm sorry you hate your nursing job, but let me just say I have mad respect for anybody doing that job, not value nearly enough. That is a super, super great point. Yeah, thank you guys both for saying that and pointing that out. Yeah, it's a very emotionally draining job, I feel like. My mom is an oncology nurse, and like I don't know how she does it, but I have so much respect for her for all she does in her day-to-day job. Although she's a night shift nurse, so night-to-night job, I guess. But GCalMeds, you are awesome. Thank you so much for reviewing my code and pointing out. And that is how it gets fixed. Thank you. It's so awesome. I'm glad I'm doing this with you guys. It's actually really fun instead of just coding by myself. I usually like code with a movie in the background to have background noise, but this is so much more fun. Let me commit that change. So fix bug, drag expense, shouldn't divide radius by 2. Into master. I might actually end a little bit early today just because like my throat is a little bit sore right now. Which like I feel like maybe drinking wine isn't the best, although maybe drinking alcohol is the best solution for this. I don't know, but I'll definitely drink some honey tea in a bit. Oh, and I also changed the look a tiny little bit, but not much. I just centered it. Okay, so I think what I wanted to do when I got back was, this is so fun, is also allow dragging over and then like changing the date for the expense that way. And then I think after I finish that, I think I will call it a night, and then I'll let you guys know if I decide to stream next Monday. Oh, if anybody's from Vancouver or has gone there a lot, let me know where to eat, please. Or what to do. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, on drag expense, I actually want to... Okay, so this one is go through all categories to see if overlapping, and then now I want to also go through all, is it days? Did I call it this dot days? Yeah, this dot days. So the circles for the back of each of the days. Go through all the days to see if expense overlaps that. Thank you, please be my friend. Andrew says, I wonder if there's a statistical measure that would give a better spread of colors. It might be my lousy Twitch stream. But they all seem to be pretty orange. Yeah, they are pretty much almost all orange. So I was actually either thinking, so these colors, these expense colors are pretty much all orange. I was thinking of either doing them actually by, because right now this is, I think, a logarithmic scale. So I might actually just like tweak the, I might actually do them based on certain quadrants, or I was actually thinking of not using the colors at all and just like size them, like and change the radius of the expenses instead. So I'll probably actually play around with that offline, because you guys probably wouldn't want to see me just like tweaking colors and like nudging pixels. Yes. Okay. To see if expense overlaps. Each this dot day. And actually, I also want to say this is actually really fun, and from the perspective of like, I think I might actually be a lot more efficient, productive. Yeah, the word is productive when I code with you guys, because when I code by myself, I put on like a movie and I'm like partially watching the movie and partially coding and like going back and forth. So definitely, and then I'll derp on like Twitter or Facebook for a bit and like maybe watch a YouTube video. So this keeps me like highly concentrated. And it's also really great to be like able to explain my thought process to you. Andrew says, I kind of like the colors. Maybe you could do them by rank instead of value. Ooh, interesting. By rank instead of value. I like that idea a lot. So what I was thinking actually was to size the expenses by their amount, and actually then color, instead of these backgrounds being gray, to color those backgrounds lightly with the like green to red. But yeah, that's an absolutely fascinating idea. I'll get back to you on how that goes. I think I'll try that first. I think I'll try what you're suggesting first with the rank, and then I'll take a screenshot, and then I might try the other one that I was thinking of. But yeah, that is a great idea. Okay. So basically, I have the X, Y, and radius, right? So for each of the days, I have X and Y. Oh, where do I set the radius? Render days. Where do I? Oh, okay. So day radius is here. You know what? I'm gonna do this. D.radius. Instead of having day radius, I'm going to pass it in as data, so that I can use it when I'm dragging also. So let me just say radius is 80. And this is actually, and I'm doing this also because I'm also considering maybe sizing these by the amount also. No, I think this should be a consistent size, the gray circle background. Andrew says, ooh, I like that. That's great. What day did blow my budget? Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So that you can see at a glance which days you are spending the most. Also, ulterior motive. So because I actually think it'd be better to have the circles as backgrounds here also instead of the line. And that way, like, I can potentially like drag this down here to like change the color too. Because right now I'm calculating these as days and I'm calculating these as week objects. So then if I just then calculate them all together, then I can drag over here and then like also change the date that way. So that is the other thought process. Yeah. Okay. And I can just like do this. Why am I not just... Okay. Day, expense X, expense Y. This dot dragged is just a day. I feel like now this should be... I should now have a type here. Is category, and then this one type is day. Then I can say, and this dot dragged dot type is equal to category, and I'll do that. Else if this dot dragged and this dot dragged dot type is equal to day. So then here I can say, oh. Then I just say this dot props dot edit date and pass up the expense. Oh wait, I need to do expense and also day. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Var expense and day is equal to this dot dragged expense and day. So this is like pretty much almost the exact same code as the categories, linking categories code, but edit date, expense, day, and then pass in that function here, edit date, this dot edit date, this dot edit date is equal to this dot edit date dot bind. Okay, so let me first see. Oh my god, hey Matt. Well, thanks for joining. Isn't it? It's like past midnight for you. Yeah, it's like 12:30. What are you doing up? I feel like you're also like a very early riser. Do I? Oh wait, Andrew said, fun cookie fact, JavaScript got triple equals from Verilog. What is Verilog? At least Verilog has it and is older. Oh, you're in LA! Okay, this is, that makes so much more sense. What are you doing in LA? And, this is Monday night, so I guess you're working right now? But yeah, this is awesome. Thanks so much for joining. I had given up hope on East Coast people potentially being able to join. Although I have been telling myself to start coding earlier at like 7:30 or something, but then I keep forgetting to like update all my information to say weekly at 7:30. Anyways, oh, awesome. Okay, I'm from LA-ish area, like right north of it in the suburbs. Okay, expense, day. So now if I drag it over here, nope, it's not working. Let's see why it's not working. So in expenses, I have drag expense, and then I have for each of the days. Let's do this. Oops. I say if it's in there, then my type is day. That looks right, right? Andrew says, I have a coworker from our hometown. It freaked me out. Really? Okay, so Andrew and I are from the exact same high school, from the exact same hometown. Which, by the way, Andrew, I'm gonna be in Seattle next weekend. Because I don't know if you remember her, but one of my Ling from our high school, she's getting married. So that's what I'm going to Vancouver and Seattle for. Let's see why this is not working. So if I put it here, this dot dragged is a null. Okay, let's try and figure out if this is getting hit. So put a debugger in here to say if what I'm dragging is within that day circle. Yeah, I'll let you know. We're only in Seattle for like one day outside of the wedding, so but I'll message you. And that would be cool. Okay, so it seems like this is actually not even working. So let's see what XY radius is for each of these days. Oh. What is this dot day? Okay, so I'm dragging. Oh, it's undefined. Is it this dot days? I'm stupid. Okay, it's this dot days, and that's why it's not working. see. Cool. Okay, so now it's hitting the debugger when I drag my expense into another one of these circles. So the day is Wednesday. Oh crap. Okay, so for this to work, I also actually need the actual date for Wednesday. So I better, so when I'm dragging it over into Wednesday, I better also get the, so that's name, and then, so here's name and day of week. So actually, I think I should just be able to do this. I can just say my date is equal to the selected week, this dot props dot selected week, really. And so D3 time, can use D3 time. So I should be able to say D3 dot time day dot offset, and then add the day of week. So what this should do is my selected week is always the Sunday, and then my day of week is going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3 or something. So for Wednesday, that should be 3. Yeah, for 3. So then if I do an offset, a D3 time day offset, then I will add 3 days to the Sunday of my selected week and give me the right date object. And Russell, wait, is that, wait, that's not the Russell I'm thinking of. Angular is, okay. Matt says, wow, debugging in JavaScript with DevTools. I've never seen this before. I'm blown away. Really? Matt, how do you usually debug? I'm now super impressed by you, because to think that you create the amazing things. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So Matt basically started Polygraph and runs this site, The Pudding, with a few awesome people, and honestly, I love the things that you guys put out. What is my favorite one recently? You guys have probably seen it. Most people have probably seen it. This one was a really fun one, the microbrew one. That's where I am. I don't make the list for microbreweries. Oh, I was in San Diego last weekend, I think. And I think they had a lot of breweries. There we go. San Diego is number 2. I think this one was really fun. But highly recommend checking out Pudding.cool and checking out Polygraph if you're into visualizations or data journalism, because they have some really amazing pieces on more pop culture kind of things. Wait, which one is the one that I'm thinking of? Where are you? Was it this one? The slang one? No. It was in politics. but I can't find the one that I'm thinking about, Matt. Oh, the one that was oh wait, this one was really great too. The gender representation in comic books. This one was really, really good. But the one I'm thinking about was I feel it was the music lyrics one, right? Oh, where are you guys? Andrew, 19th. Screw you, Portland, Seattle's beer is better. I'm thinking of the one where you guys did a compression. Oh, you compressed rap songs to see how repetitive it is. There we go. That's the one I'm thinking about. Okay. Anyways, definitely check putting out. What was I doing? Oh yeah, okay. Pop lyrics repetition. Thank you so much. Yes, that one. Okay, so this one. Nice. Okay, and I have the date, June 14th, Wednesday. Awesome. So that fixed it, and that fixed it. So let me take out the console log now. And I should just be able to say to Tuesday, and this one should be date. So I should actually just be able to say date is equal to day and force update, and then they should just all work. What? Nope. What happened? Get date is not a function. Why not? Oh. Ha. There we go. Because I was giving the whole object when I actually meant to give just the date object. Oh! Look! Hi, Ogbog. It worked! This was so anticlimactic though. Now I can... This was a lot cooler in my head. This interaction was definitely a lot cooler in my head. At least this one's kind of fun. Yeah. Okay. And if I go through... Yep. Wow, this is really coming along, if I do say so myself. Man. So anticlimactic though. Thank you! Okay, yeah. So that was it. That was actually pretty straightforward, huh? So if we look at my changelog, it's only this little edit part, which was only these two lines, and then here oh, hi. Ooh, thank you so much, Marcel, for following. Yeah, so I guess it was only this little part that calculates where I dragged it is within that circle, and then you call the edit date function in app.js, and that's really pretty much all that took. So drag expense to date to update, date circle to update, and wow, that's it. So that's all I wanted to get done today, and then for next time, I want to put in add expenses and add categories, and then is that all of the interactions that I had in my mind? Oh my god. And so adding, oh, and then I guess of course being able to see being able to see if I click on this, the details, of course, because right now I don't know anything about any of the details. Yeah, being able to see the details, being able to edit the amount or the name of any of the expenses. I guess being able to delete them and then being able to add them. Okay, yeah, I still have a lot of interactions left to go. So, yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for finding me if you're new. And I will maybe see you next Monday. If not next Monday, then definitely next Monday. Thank you so much. Bye bye.